Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of iChan's Eye. I'm your host. Every week, I bring you a clear, balanced, and neutral summary of major global news stories. This show focuses on facts, context, and a middle ground perspective, without leaning to the right or the left. If you want to improve your English while staying informed about world events, you're in the right place. Let's take a look at the top stories from this past week. Our first story comes from Australia, where a tragic attack has shaken the nation. Australian police say a deadly mass shooting at Sydney's Bondi Beach was a targeted terrorist attack against the Jewish community during a Hanukkah celebration. At least 15 people were killed, including children, a Holocaust survivor, and several rabbis after two gunmen opened fire on a crowd of around 1,000 people. Police say the suspects were a father and son. The 50-year-old father was shot dead by police at the scene, while his 24-year-old son remains hospitalized in critical but stable condition. Authorities say there are no other suspects. Witnesses described scenes of panic as families fled across the beach. One bystander was praised as a hero after tackling a gunman and seizing his weapon. Police also located a vehicle containing improvised explosive devices, which were later safely removed. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese condemned the attack as an act of anti-Semitic terrorism. Jewish leaders say the violence comes amid a surge in anti-Semitic incidents across Australia. Governments worldwide have since increased security at Hanukkah events and expressed solidarity with Australia's Jewish community. Turning now to the United States, two students killed in a mass shooting at Brown University have been identified, as police continue a manhunt for the suspect. Ella Cook and Muhammad Aziz Umar Zokov were shot and killed when a gunman opened fire inside a classroom in Providence, Rhode Island. 9 others were injured, including one person in critical condition. Authorities say a previously detained person of interest has been released after investigators found no basis to hold them. Police are now following new leads and reviewing additional video evidence, while the FBI continues a round-the-clock investigation. Brown University says there is no immediate threat to campus, but all remaining in-person classes and exams have been canceled. Around 2,000 students were relocated overnight, and a vigil has been held to honor the victims. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has made a major concession in peace talks with the United States, offering to drop Ukraine's goal of joining NATO in exchange for strong security guarantees. The proposal came during more than 5 hours of talks in Berlin, with envoys from U.S. President Donald Trump's administration. Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff said a lot of progress was made, with negotiations set to continue. Zelensky said Ukraine could accept neutrality if it receives legally binding security guarantees from the United States, Europe, and allies such as Canada and Japan, similar to NATO's Article 5 protections. The move would meet one of Russia's long-standing demands, though Kyiv continues to reject giving up territory. European leaders say the talks could shape Ukraine's future and the security of the continent. Chile has elected far-right candidate José Antonio Cast as president, marking the country's sharpest shift to the right since the end of dictatorship in 1990. Cast won nearly 58% of the vote, defeating left-wing candidate Janet Jara by campaigning on law and order policies, tougher border controls, and mass deportations of illegal migrants. His victory reflects a broader regional trend, as far-right and hardline leaders gain ground across Latin America by promising security over social reform. Markets reacted positively, but Cast now faces a divided Congress that could limit his most ambitious plans. In Africa, fighting in Sudan continued to escalate this week, worsening a conflict that began in April 2023, after a power struggle between the Sudanese army and a rival paramilitary force known as the Rapid Support Forces. The two sides had jointly led a military government, but talks to transition to civilian rule collapsed, triggering a nationwide war. Last week, paramilitary forces seized key territories and strategic oil fields, further destabilizing the country. A military transport plane also crashed near Port Sudan, killing all crew members on board. The United Kingdom imposed new sanctions on senior leaders accused of atrocities, while 6 United Nations peacekeepers were killed in a drone strike, highlighting the growing international concern and the severe human cost of the conflict. Last week also saw the launch of the Bridge Summit 2025 in Abu Dhabi, the capital of the United Arab Emirates, a major gathering of global media leaders, creators, and tech innovators. Headlined by British actor and speaker Idris Elba, the summit is exploring how artificial intelligence, media, and storytelling intersect to shape future culture and economic opportunity. Organizers emphasize the potential of emerging markets to leapfrog traditional development with tech-driven innovation. Commodities markets drew attention as silver prices surged to record levels, rising above $60 and reaching around $64.64 per ounce. Analysts say the rally reflects expected central bank rate cuts, supply pressures, and growing industrial demand, particularly in electronics and renewable energy. In tech and business news, Neil Mohan, CEO of YouTube, was named Time Magazine's 2025 CEO of the Year. Under his leadership, YouTube has expanded into TV, shorts, and AI-powered tools, while navigating complex challenges in content moderation and creator monetization. Mohan has emphasized YouTube's role as a global platform for creativity and connection. Natural events also made headlines as northern Japan was struck by a powerful earthquake with a magnitude of around 7.6, centered off the coast of Aomori Prefecture. The quake was felt as far away as Tokyo, and was followed by multiple strong aftershocks. Authorities issued tsunami warnings, vehicles were damaged, and dozens of people were injured. Officials emphasized the importance of preparedness as the region continues to assess impacts. In sports, Japanese table tennis star Tomokazu Harimoto made headlines with a remarkable performance at the WTT finals in Hong Kong. Harimoto defeated world-class opponents to secure his first finals title and annual championship, triumphing over a top Swedish player in a thrilling final match. This victory marks a major milestone in his career and highlights his continued rise in international competition. Also in sports news, the World Darts Championship 2025-26 kicked off with excitement and fanfare. Defending champion Luke Liddor, who made history as a teenage world champion, returns as the #1 seed. The tournament has expanded its field to 128 competitors and boasts a record £5 million prize fund, adding to the event's prestige and global appeal. And finally, the Geminids meteor shower peaked last week, offering one of the year's most spectacular celestial displays, with more than 100 meteors per hour visible under dark skies. And that wraps up this week's edition of iChan's Eye. From tragic violence to record-setting markets, major sporting events, innovations in media and technology, diplomatic challenges, and even the beauty of our night sky, this past week highlighted the many challenges and changes shaping our world today. Every week presents challenges and opportunities, moments of hardship, resilience, creativity, and scientific wonder. Here on iChan's Eye, we aim to promote peace, culture, and education by sharing global stories clearly, calmly, and thoughtfully. As the preamble to the UNESCO Constitution reminds us, since wars begin in the minds of men, it is in the minds of men that the defenses of peace must be constructed. Lasting peace requires more than political agreements. It depends on education, culture, mutual understanding, and respect for human dignity. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed today's episode, please like, subscribe, and join me again next week. I'm I. See you next time.